Hey, what's up everybody? Rachel here from Turnaround Marriage. Here are 3 things that I wish I had known in my Christian marriage when we were first married almost 30 years ago. Number 1, I wish I had known that my husband's silence did not mean he didn't care. And I don't mean the silent treatment. What I mean is I would share something with Scott and he would get quiet. And I interpreted his quietness as the fact that he didn't care, he wasn't listening, he didn't hear me. And what I didn't know is that I'm a verbal processor, but he's an internal processor. He processes things upstairs, and so he's thinking, he's analyzing, he's being careful with his words. He doesn't want to just come at me and say the first thing that comes to his mind, like what I might do. But instead, he's internally processing what I'm telling him. And that was such a game changer for me, because before, what I would do is I would get moody, I would get frustrated, and sometimes I would get loud, and I would be like, why are you listening to me? Why aren't you answering me? And I had this scowl on my face, that permanent scowl that's there, and it's because I had done that so much. He's very different than me. I'm more emotional, he's more logical, and when I understood that him getting quiet did not mean that he didn't care, it meant that he was thinking and processing things upstairs. All right, number 2. I wish I had known that our brains are wired for negativity. The more I've studied about the brain, the more fascinating it is, because the way that God has designed our brains is to keep us alive and keep us safe, right? And so our brains are naturally wired for negativity. We are always noticing what's off, what's not right, what kind of danger is around. And we're doing that because we're trying to stay alive. Now, what I wish I had known when I was first married, and even the first 2 decades of our 3-decade marriage, I wish I had known that I can't just come at him complaining, criticizing, nagging him, telling him all the things he's doing wrong, because I thought I was helping him, right, ladies? How many of you think you're helping your husband when you're telling him the things he's not doing right? Well, I thought I was helping him by telling him all the things and trying to make him be better. And what I did not know is that he needs appreciation and honor more than he needs his next breath. He needs to know that he's admired more than he needs his next meal. He is desperate for it. And it's not just this male ego thing, like a lot of people talk about. It's just how God wired him. They have a heavy mantle of leadership, husbands do, as they carry the brunt and the responsibility of the marriage and the health of the marriage. It's a heavy burden on their shoulders. I'm not saying wives are not also called to love and serve and be co-partners with their husband, but the husband is called to be the leader. That means he goes first. That means he lays his life down for his bride, the way Jesus does for us. And because of that heavy leadership, he absolutely needs honor and appreciation. And so you can't make a one-to-one withdrawal. In other words, if you see something that your husband's doing and you want to help him, you can't just come at him with like, okay, 1 positive compliment for every 1 negative, because it doesn't equal out that way. What I wish I had known was that for every 1 concern, a husband probably needs, and a wife does too, 5 pieces of positive communication. So that'll look as simple as, I really appreciate you working so hard for our family. Or, my gosh, you look handsome today. Or, thank you so much for taking out the trash and remembering that. Oh my goodness, thank you for being you. You're such a good dad. A genuine compliment goes a long way, and we need to be doing 5 of those little deposits in your husband's heart. And then he's going to have plenty in his bank account, so that when you're ready to make a withdrawal and say, hey, you know what? It kind of bothered me that you didn't call and say you were going to be late. Or, hey, I think you kind of spoke harshly to the kids. Can we talk about that? You see what I mean? If you're doing a 5-to-1, it's way better received than just the, every time we're trying to help your husband. All right, number 3, what I wish I had known is that my husband is not a mind reader, and neither is yours, unless he has some special ability that you don't know about. Our husbands are not mind readers. Early on, I just assumed that he should know how I'm feeling. Early on, I assumed he should just know what I needed, what I desired, and if I was moody or if I needed a hug. And I'm not saying a husband shouldn't be proactive and actively look for how to serve his wife and love her better. But what I am saying is that they're really not good at reading our minds. Direct communication is way, way better than trying to be passive aggressive or sarcastic with the way we're communicating. Our husbands can't read our minds. Let's let them know what we need. Hey, I could really use some time with you. Could we carve some time out this weekend? Or hey, we've been on our phones a lot. Could we put our phones down and just connect for a few? You see what I mean? You use a gentle and soft tone. It goes so much farther and it goes a long way. So I hope that helps you. Which of these three resonate with you the most? Does your husband get quiet? Is he an internal processor? Or what about our brains being wired for negativity? Is that something you need to work on? Or maybe you think that your husband should be a mind reader and this is your wake-up call that that's not his job. Let me know in the comments which one resonates with you and how I can help. Scott and I have co-founded Turnaround Marriage. We help Christians go from crisis to closeness quickly without rehashing the past. We teach them how to resolve the past. So be sure to hit that follow button and send this to your bestie who might need this encouragement.